The term Director General is a title given the highest executive officer within a governmental, statutory, NGO, third sector or not-for-profit institution. Australia. In most Australian states, the Director General is the most senior civil servant in any government department, reporting only to the democratically elected minister representing that department. In Victoria and the Australian government, the equivalent position is the Secretary of the Department. The Australian Defence Force Cadets has 3 Directors General which are all 1-star ranks. Director General of the Australian Navy Cadets, Director General of the Australian Army Cadets, Director General of the Australian Air Force Cadets, Canada. In Canada, a Director General is not the highest civil servant in a department. Directors General typically report to a more senior civil servant, for example at the Assistant Deputy Minister level. Deputy Ministers are the highest level bureaucrat in the Canadian civil service. Deputy Ministers are not politicians but professional bureaucrats. At school boards in Quebec, the Director General is the highest-ranking employee. European Union. In the European Commission and the Council of the European Union, each department is headed by a non-political Director General. This is roughly equivalent to a British Permanent Secretary. France. In France, the similar word pra copyright side and director gar copyright na copyright ral means the highest person in a company, who is in same time chairman of board of directors and CEO. From 2001 the two charges may be disjointed. The director gar copyright na copyright ral dar copyright la copyright go copyright has a role similar to a chief operating officer. French ministries are divided in general directorates, sometimes named central directorates or simply directorates, headed respectively by a director gar copyright na copyright ral, a director central, or a director. Germany. In Germany, general director may be used for the CEO of a large and established concern, corporation, company or enterprise, particularly if inferiors have the title director. The title is, however, unofficial and by now largely out of use. Officially a GmbH is a G-share currency FTSFA 1/4 rare and an Aktiengesellschaft a board of executive directors with a chairman. India. In India, there is a Director General of Police and Director General of Income Tax in each state. Indian Coast Guard is headed by Director General of Indian Coast Guard. Italy. In Italy, the Director Generale of a company is a corporate officer who reports to CEO and has duties similar to a chief operating officer. Some Italian ministries are divided in departments who are in turn divided in general directorates headed by a Director Generale. Other ministries, who haven't departments, are directly divided in general directorates. In Italian provinces and greatest communes Director Generale is a chief administrative officer nominated by president of province or by mayor. The title of Director Generale is also given to the chief executive of an Azienda Sanitaria, a local public agency for health services. Russia, a general director is the highest executive position in a Russian company, analogous to a U.S. chief executive officer, or a UK managing director. The position exists for all Commonwealth of Independent States legal forms and limited liability companies, except for sole proprietorships. The General Director is the single-person executive body of a company. He or she acts without power of attorney to represent the company, and issues powers of attorney to others. His or her powers are defined by the company charter, by decision of the general meeting of shareholders or participants, and by the board of directors. Spain. In Spain, mar copyright Zico, and other Spanish-speaking countries, the term Director General of a company means the highest person managing the company and translates as the CEO into United States English. Sweden. In Sweden, the similar word Generaldirektör paragraph R means the head of a government agency. United Kingdom. In the UK, Director General is the professional head of an executive agency which contains other agencies headed by directors. For example, the chief executive of the British Broadcasting Corporation is called the Director General. The head of the UK's Internal Security Service MI5 is also a Director General, who operates at permanent secretary level. Ministerial department chiefs are known as permanent secretaries. United States, This term is commonly used in international organizations and government departments, though often called an executive director or managing director in the U.S. Typically, the chief administrative officer of an opera company in the U.S. holds the title of general director. Such is the case with Placido Domingo, who functions in that capacity for the Los Angeles Opera, albeit that he continues to sing. References: Bird, Richard. Improving Tax Administration in Developing Countries, th 3/4 th 1/4 19. Russia, International Monetary Fund. PA 344, Russia Company Laws and Regulations Handbook. International Business Publications, USA. ISBN A14330700529 Generaldirektor. Paragraph are on Swedish Wikipedia.